Well, gang violence is a worrying trend Saskatoon police have vowed to crack down on. Here to talk about it this morning is Sergeant Tyson LaValle with the Saskatoon Police Gang Unit. Good morning. Thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
How serious is Saskatoon's gang problem?
I think you have to look at it in perspective of, we have a gang problem just as much as any other metropolitan city in Western Canada. Every city in Western Canada is dealing with gang issues in some form, especially with the increase of illicit drugs within their communities. For us, for Saskatoon, seriousness, I guess we have to compare. So we look to the cities of Winnipeg and Edmonton, who are dealing with a lot of gang violence, or at least drug-related violence, which is entwined with street gangs. And so compared to them, we do have a gang problem to a lesser degree, but we have been dealing with gangs for over 10 years. So, we're well familiar with gang violence.
And we hear that the gang violence is increasing because in a strong economy, that's one of the side effects. Saskatoon's economy is doing very well right now, and gangs tend to follow the money. So, paint a picture as to what it's like in Saskatoon. Who's signing up, and what is the makeup of these gangs in Saskatoon?
Within Saskatoon, we have, at any given time, our unit is monitoring around 10 to 12 gangs. Of those, 4 of those we consider primary gangs, and those are gangs that have direct contact or access to illicit drugs, and that have a viable market, and that they can sell drugs and run drug houses. Their membership is made up primarily of adults. We're looking at anyone between the ages of in their early 20s to as old as 50. Wow. Beyond that, we have our secondary gangs. Those are gangs that don't have that access to direct illicit drugs. Therefore, they don't have access to direct profits. Okay. So a lot of times, that's where we're going to find a lot of our youth involvement in there, or at least adults in their very early 20s, where they're trying to gain access to the larger gangs. How
concerned should people be?
The people that are at greatest risk for gang violence, it's going to be fellow gang members. It's in general, our gang members end up becoming victims of crime by their own gang members. Right.
So, and give me a sense then of what Saskatoon police can do to deal with the situation.
What we've been doing, we've had we've been very dedicated to this issue since 2004, when we first established our gang unit, and we continually are monitoring all of these groups and how they interact, and we're always continually trying to identify those gang members that pose the greatest risk to our community, and those are the people that we target and focus on trying to arrest and focus on.
All right. Sergeant Tyson.